One.
Hi, my name is Scott. As you see right here, we're going to show you exactly what I did to create the mobile wheels for my station that will be built this weekend. I took Harbor Freight 10-inch wheels and dolly wheels and combined them together on swivels and fixed positions. And what we're going to need for this piece of equipment, this is basically what we're going to be doing today. You're going to need a 15/16, a 3/8 drive of a 3/4 inch blade, 5/8 rod, solid please. That's the only way to make the axles. Some 5/8 washers, cotter pins, like I said. And when you get these tires, also make sure you have an air compressor, because you have to verify to make sure they're all 30 pounds on this. Over here, I have a Evolution miter saw with a steel blade on it that cuts my rods. I have the drill press. Make sure you get a 5/8 drill bit and a 1/8 drill bit for your pipe, for the axis itself. I have a grinder for the touch-ups. So what we're going to be doing today is actually showing you exactly what I did. It is time consuming. Folks, please understand this. It took me about 3.5 hours to make sure all the cuts are right, all the bolts were done. It is not something that takes 20 minutes to for minutes, please. Understanding that. Because I have 6 sets, and we're showing you exactly what I did for the last set I saved for y'all. I knocked all these out, and now we're going to show you exactly what I did. All right, folks? Yeah, I know. It jumped out of my hand. I put all my tools over here in this workstation that I've been building on. But what we're going to be showing you exactly what I've done today. I secured it to something. Make sure you secure your bracings, or whatever you're going to use it for. Now, I watched this guy, his name's Mike, on DIY channel. I was informed that he did his, so I'm actually doing mine. I liked it. Make sure you put a block of wood inside of it so it don't split. Oh, it's been a long day. So when you drill it into the drill press, it don't twitch. Oh Lord, have mercy. Hey, Precious. She's always my lucky charm. Get a good measure. And please, go slow. Okay? If you go too fast, you'll mess it all up. You don't want to have to go back and go buy your new equipment. So take it slow. Take it easy. Make sure you got your gloves on, because the metal will kick back. Make sure you got safety glasses. I do actually wear glasses and safety glasses this time. So, bear with me. Earlier, so we're going to try to secure this a little bit better. If that doesn't set with it. not. This is the fun part. You got to make sure the hole don't have burrs in it, and I have this saw is what they call a sawtooth blade. It's just clean all the burrs out. Got to make sure all the piping works. What takes the longest part about this is you actually trying to make sure you can stick this completely through, complete with no problem. Right now it's still a little tight, so you got to work it just a little bit more. You want to make sure it gets a chance to go through this. Just like that.
You okay, precious? You okay, girl?
Alright. When you do this, this is cast aluminum. Be very careful. My drill bit's about dull, but if you get to working as much as I've done today, it works well. And I got that from Home Depot today. Alright, how you sort this together? Run that through. As you can tell, it goes straight through the tire. No issues. Now, the only bad part about this is you want to make sure all the tires work. All they actually go straight through. Almost finished. This is actually 10 inches that you're going to need to cut. And that's what we're going to do. Since I did dig the tires earlier, and I do have a portable air compressor with me, as you can tell. It's battery operated. And it works wonders. Make sure you measure out 10 inches. Because that's what exactly you're going to need. Now strangely, I've seen that the gentleman that I saw on YouTube actually used a reciprocating saw. But he's never been familiar with one of these. This is the Evolution Raise 3 with a steel blade in it, and I worked it majority of today. It does have laser, so I have no problems. But when you do this, make sure you do additional check. And since this has a laser on it, I use the laser as a guide when I get ready to drop. Make sure that black mark is centered. Before I make my cut. Make sure that rod's tight down so that bar won't spin on you. And just in case it does, I know I keep throwing this over here, I put a little brace bar next to it so it doesn't go anywhere. You know, it's pretty gapped, but it'll hold. Now that Evolution saw I've had for now 7 months, 8 months. Multiple blades, and it's still working for me. That's what created our patio with Stoneworks. Now I do the spurs and I clean up a little bit on it. And the fun part for the second ride. Slide the rod in, just like you normally do with the rest. Just like that. Put a washer on the outside. Push through. Make sure you have enough pieces for it. There you go. And that's the other half. And before I actually turn around and start drilling, I gotta go ahead and change this one out. This is what you're using the 8-inch, the 1/8 inch is what's going to cut your cotter pin holes. Now we didn't do a time lapse on this. We actually turned around, and this is the last one we have to do, so I figured I'd give you an idea how I did it. Make sure you do wear gloves because you do have metal shavings and everything. Unless you're like some people that like to get ink on them. Now, you push the washer as far up against this you can. And you get a black line so you'll figure out where the cotter pin is going to go. You want it as tight as possible, but you don't want it binding up your equipment. Just take the washers off. Take it to the drill press, and be careful because your black lines, if you do magic marker, sometimes you actually grab it and it also wipes off. So, when you put the cotter pins in, when you measured it up, take center mass of this right here, the black marks, so when you push up here, it won't bind your gears. Or you'll be sitting there fighting with it, and it's not a good thing to do. Too high. Just right. Precious, are you playing with my feet again? Folks, if you notice in my last few videos, I've got a little girl. She plays with the thing. So she's enjoying herself today. Hold it as straight as possible unless you have a drill press vise, which I do not. And go slow. When you feel no resistance, you got to hold. Do that on the opposite side as well. Now I actually cleaned it up by taking the grinder to it on the excess what we have. Because you got sharp points where you cut through. I'll just take the burrs off. That's it. Each one of these tires is supposed to have 30 pounds of pressure in it before I actually started the project earlier. I did verify that all tires and the ones that needed it got it. And since I have assortment of cotter pins, and it depends on what size hole you're going to put into it, what size cotter pin you're actually going to use. That is true fact. If you plan to put a bigger hole in it, you can use either this type or the other type, which is the ones you push in and then pigtail them. Lord have mercy. Come on, tire. And there's always going to be one, if you work with this, you already know, no matter how nice and how good you do this, there's always ones that wants to do you wrong. That is my tires, folks. Each tire holds 300 pounds. And that's what you get. As we go along on the mobile workbench, and this is the mobility part of it, so now you get to see this part being designed and built. Each one of these tires actually do hold 300 pounds per tire, and they are 6 sets. There's 18 tires, so the weight on this workbench isn't going to be anywhere close to being 1,000 pounds. But we'll have a complete workstation mounted onto it, as well as for the table saw and a miter saw that we're putting on as well. Folks, stay tuned. And by the way, I do appreciate everything that y'all have given me comments. I'm hoping to see what Wyatt's dad actually does with his jackhammer if he still buys it. And some of the other people that I've actually talked to, I thank you, as well as if you like the video, give me a check mark, thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of it, please subscribe. Thank you.